We have some salamis, some charcuterie, some cheeses, and the board favorite, some olives. Now you could take some out of a jar, put it in a cute bowl, and just roll with that. But I'm gonna show you how to take just a regular old olive medley and amp it up a bit. We can marinate it, or in my case, quicken that marination by warming it up. And if you've never tried warm olives before, they're super tasty. I have a personal connection with olives. And before I get to this, now I could try to attempt to name them, but I don't know if my Italian quite holds up. You know, my husband is Italian-Canadian, and his grandfather, wait, come over here, Caleb. His grandfather, Nonno Raffaele, had an olive orchard. Isn't that so cool? So I took my 7-month-old son to Italy, and we actually visited the very orchard that he owned, and it was such a special thing to witness. It's so strange when you have a child that you just become so intimately connected with the entire family. So I got some rosemary in here, some oregano, some thyme. You can use fresh or dried. And like you can see, all of this is gonna infuse together. You can already hear this bubbling away. So Nonno Raffaele is no longer with us, unfortunately, but he was alive for my wedding, and I actually had olives and olive branches in my wedding bouquet as an honor to their side of the family. And he even noticed them. He was a man of very, very few words. Trust me, I'm very shy even speaking Serbian, even though I grew up learning the language because my parents are Serbian, I was born in Serbia. But like Italian, I don't know, I was like, buongiorno. Anyway, he was a man of few words, and as soon as he saw the olive branches in my wedding bouquet, he was like, look, olive branches. It's for you. So funny how sometimes you can feel like these traditions are antiquated, but I don't know, you can't deny like centuries worth of all of these traditions. Not only is a good board the ultimate party food, but it's the ultimate snack food. I mean, I am making this board clearly for all of the really working people on set. Almost impaled myself with a carving fork for some reason. But you can just throw something together at home for yourself. I really believe that you can make an elegant board to treat yourself or a loved one with a lot of odds and ends that you may have in your fridge. So say you had some deli meat hanging around on the counter, you know, all set up for you. I have that privilege here where I have a lot of hands on deck, but I mean, you can literally just go into your fridge and grab whatever you want. Got some sauvagine, some beautiful Quebecois cheese, some goat cheese, and some pecorino romano. For now, let's try one of these olives, these masline, as we call them in Serbian. Mast means fat. It took me a second. I needed to get my brain in Serbo mode. Oh, another good tip. Have a little bowl, beside the olives for the pits. And I usually set up the bowl with the pits already in them so that when people go to eat, they know where to put them. Does it always work? No, but in my house, you know what this little bowl is for. You will never see a beautiful charcuterie board without liver pate or a liver mousse in this case. We have some beautiful shallots melting away. We're gonna add some chicken liver. I think it's really, really great to incorporate liver into your diet. I know it's not the most appealing thing to eat, It's definitely not my favorite. I think back in the day when I was growing up, there was a huge emphasis on feeding stuff like this to kids. And the other thing I think that was really popular that's less so now is the whole force the child to stay at the table until they finish their meal. I mean, show of hands, who was forced to sit at the table to finish their meal? Well, let me tell you, nowadays, word on the street is it's not the best strategy to get your kids to like something. In this case, I really don't like beef liver. It's kind of bitter, but apparently people swear by soaking the liver first in some milk. As you can see, it does make quite a pleasant color, but I definitely do not want to consume that. So this liver has been soaking in milk for about 20 minutes, and you know, let's see if it does the trick. I'm not quite sure, but you know, it's good to also have a little palate cleanser before you have something bitter like liver. So I'm gonna palate cleanse with a little bit of sherry. We are celebrating today with this gorgeous board. And a little bit in this pan will go a long way. You can use brandy. In Serbia, we love our brandy called rakia. We use it in everything. The other way to prevent liver from being super, super bitter is to just lightly sear it. And counterintuitively, you actually want chicken liver to be a little tiny bit pink inside. Don't want it to be too overcooked. So this gentle heat I have going on is gonna be perfect for this. I'm gonna get some things ready in my food processor while this liver finishes up. Come on over, Caleb. We have some beurre, of course. Again, we're gonna make this liver palatable, whether you like it or not. A little bit of ginger, which I think is a really interesting sort of festive way of making this pate or this mousse rather fun. A little bit of mace. And if you don't know, mace is actually the outer rind, so to speak, of the nutmeg seed. And then some dried thyme. Back over here, I know I'm taking you on a ride, on the magic carpet ride. You don't want this to bleed, so it just needs 30 more seconds or so. And when I think about preparing liver for the first time, I think about cooking school and doing this extracurricular activity, which we were, you know, suggested we do, which was to cook at the school's restaurant. So one evening, I just looked on the calendar. I noticed there was this really fancy ticketed casino night event. And when I was finished my shift of trimming the chicken livers, I said, oh, I just happen to have this dress on me. You wouldn't, if I could just, you know, just go in. And so I definitely fraternized with the locals and really wowed them with my charm and my silly Canadian wit. But actually, it was super intimidating to hang out with them because they're just such charming people. And I learned very quickly that anyone that goes to a event like that in Ireland, you have to have a party trick song, so to speak, if that makes sense. So everyone was singing their party song. Let's blend this up. And it took me a while, but then I remembered mine. I mean, I don't have this normally prepared, but I thought of my husband's favorite Serbian folk song, and it goes, Ajde Jano kuću da prodamo. Ajde Jano, ajde dušo kućo. It's basically like a peasant saying, come on, darling, let's sell our house and sell our horses and go off together. It's quite the romantic song. And everyone was like, Ajde, woo! Saying, yeah, let's go, girl. So that was a very fun memory I have. All right, let's try this chicken liver real quick. It's been setting in the fridge. We made this a bit earlier. So the reason why I put butter on this is another thing that happens to liver that makes it bitter is when it oxidizes in the air. So having a nice butter coat on top makes it last a bit longer. So cheers to finally enjoying liver again. hot in, so hot in here. That's some habaneros for a red pepper jelly. To recap, we are here exploring the beautiful world of boards and entertaining, and your girl Eva B prepared some chicken liver mousse and some marinated olives, and now we're gonna make a Canadian craft fair specialty. I swear to God, you cannot go to a Canadian craft fair without seeing red pepper jelly. I don't know why. It's not necessarily like we have like a huge pepper growing season or not, but I don't know. I don't know why it's everywhere. Maybe because our flag is red and white? Could that be why? I don't know. Does anyone here know why red pepper jelly is so popular? Anyway, I have some bell peppers here as well. I feel like if Serbs really liked sweet and spicy things, they would really like this, but we don't really mix. In Serbia, though, we have a roasted red pepper spread called ajvar. Say it with me, ajvar. Ajvar. Thank you. Yes, we're slowly learning the Serbian culinary food language here at Gusto TV. All right, so to make the Canadian red pepper jelly, I'm gonna blitz this up. Bloop, 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 bloop. You know those really boring, annoying anecdotes that family members always bring up, like, oh, little Charlie always used to play with crayons in the bathtub. Well, the anecdote for me was that I would always ask for spicy food, and I would like to say, you're welcome, family, for being such a cool foodie right off the bat. I wasn't afraid of no spice. All right, just a quick tip. Come on close, I have a quick tip. So if this gets a little bit wet, you can strain out, look at all that liquid already released. So I'm gonna try to avoid it from going in here, but might not work. Let's just dump it all in. I'm just giving you a quick demo of how the steps go towards making this. I've actually never made this before. I'm really excited though, because I really love it. I'm team sweet and savory together. We gotta cut the sweetness with some vinegar. I gotta put a ton of sugar in because one way this is gonna set is by caramelizing everything. Not quite to the point where it's, let's say, browning. That kind of caramelizing is not happening in here, but when I tell you I'm putting a lot of sugar in this, I'm putting a lot of sugar in this. We're making a jelly. So the liquid from the peppers is gonna melt with the sugar. Let's bring it up to a boil. One thing I really love about all of the things that I'm making for you today is I wanna show you that you can not only present all of these little items on the board that you're serving to people, but you can also put the extras in little jars, have them set, and then you can give them as little favors. You know, maybe I am like a little bit of a Martha Stewart at heart. I'm starting to get soft in my old age, because before I'd be like, all right, thanks for the free wine, get out of my house now. But, you know, now I gotta think about, you know, setting a good example for my son or something. Anyway, one way this is gonna set up, aside from the fact that we have a lot of sugar in here and we're gonna bring it up to a jam or jelly situation, I think. A lot of these thermometers have different words on them, and they refer to whether the temperature is perfect for setting or not. But one way to bypass that is to add some liquid pectin. And pectin is from like apples, from raspberries, that kind of thing. I'm gonna just use the thermometer to stir this up. And after this has been bubbling away for a few minutes, it really doesn't take too long. You get this beautiful color. It's incredible what nature can provide us. Let's put it on this goat cheese. Hello, now I have some crackers that are already cooked up and we're gonna start building our board. So come on over, Caleb. It's almost time to celebrate. Last year was my first year postpartum hosting my family's Slava. Slava, every Serbian family has one. It's our patron saint day. And ours is Saint John. Let me just shout him out for everybody. He can chill with us while we're building our board. Hallelujah. My husband, however, he is like, Eva, we can't have Saint John as our patron saint because it's always passed down from the man's side. And I was like, why are you so obsessed with that? Anyway, he forced me to ask priests in Serbia to like convince him essentially that we have to pick a new day. And that's just not gonna happen. Anyway, let's try this out. I mean, I've been eating all day, so I'm a little full, but I gotta bring this over to the staff who's working hard. Shout outs to them. Oh boy.